ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲಲ್ಲಿ एक्सप्रेस रेलवे स्टेशन नेताजी भवन कृपया ध्यान दें।
Hello and welcome. You're watching Voltas presents Cricbuzz Live. So here's the thing, right? Chennai, obviously eliminated, has not been doing too well. Today, a very good bowling performance that will make them very happy. But happier than that is someone else who is at the bottom of a chart.
You had to mention that on the biggest day of my life.
Just setting up context for the happiness.
It's like someone scores 100 and you say he got 3 ducks in his previous 3 innings.
Which makes the 100 even better, right? And there is somebody here who has got 100 of 20 balls, the equivalent, hits 6s on every delivery. His score guess was 179 and he has got a bullseye, Mr. Harsha Bhogle.
Yeah. Please record this and play it in slow-mo because it's never going to happen again.
It was like Andre Russell's last innings, because at the halfway point or after the power play, you were like 2 off 9, weren't you? You were so far from getting 100.
Yeah.
But it worked in your favour, didn't it?
But it did, and I was just really worried. When it ended on 179, I was worried that Mr. Bhogle may just explode in joy. That his body may not be able to contain that happiness inside it. But I'll tell you, coming back to this game, our guessing game matters more, but coming back to this game, that also matters a little bit. This batting performance, now remember they won the toss and chose to bat first, something they have not done in 10 years in an evening game at Eden Gardens. And this is a very strange batting performance, Gilly.
Yeah. Well, they got the start they wanted in the power play, but after that it just seemed to... Well, the spin came on and they started to have a few issues with that. Noor Ahmed, 4 wickets, so he did what he needed to do. But look at that.
57 in those 10 overs.
Yeah, that's
in those 9 overs, there's 57. So a large part of your innings has been a runner ball. I don't know how... Yes, the pitch was a little troublesome. The bowling was good. But runner ball?
You have to be inventive if you're not getting boundaries. And keep knocking 2s. Maybe there's always 2s available, bonds 2s, if you're not hitting the boundaries. So that is by any standards. Unless the people in the middle had said 180 is a match-winning score, let's try and get somewhere there. That is the only thing that explains to me what they did there.
Yeah.
Just hang in, because we think 175, 180 is a good score on this track. Though, Gilly, I don't know if you saw too much from the spinners to suggest that this is indeed a winning score.
I think it is.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh...
Okay.
Interesting. Is that because you don't have faith in Chennai chasing it? Because of just how they've gone in this tournament?
Yeah, a little bit of that factored into it. And it only takes one innings from one player in that Chennai team to get them close or even win. We saw that against RCB. But I just think, the mindset where Chennai are at, coupled with the bowling lineup for KKR, and those conditions, I think it's going to be challenging.
That's interesting. When we see it, when we look down their batting order, I think the choke happened from the spinners in the middle, and there was Captain Ajinkya Rahane batting at that time and Manish Pandey batting at that time, and they couldn't get the ball away. In fact, they were starved of... There was a drought. They were starved of boundaries. It was only when Andre Russell came in that he unleashed a little bit. But again, Harsha, my question is...
Yes.
For Manish Pandey, who has not been playing, right? Who's not been playing, and Andre Russell, who's in great form and he's hit that brilliant knock previous game. For me, strategically, sending Manish Pandey, a player who's not played much, ahead of Andre Russell, it just seemed a little...
Also, that's what you get with Manish Pandey.
Yes.
You've seen him around since the first edition of the IPL. He went through a purple patch in between. But you know with Manish Pandey, that's what you're going to get. You're not going to get a 60 of 30 balls from Manish Pandey. So he must have been sent in. And I'm trying to give credit to the people who took the call. He must have been sent in with the objective of ensuring there were not too many wickets being lost in the middle overs. I don't know if that's a great objective in itself when you're batting as deep.
Till 9.
And then you had Jadeja bowling 3 overs and you had a powerful left-hander sitting in there in Moeen Ali. You batted
And Rinku Singh.
And Rinku Singh especially. I said Moeen Ali because you wouldn't have minded if he had gone out. He goes and gets a flyer, 15 or 4, 15 or 5. Doesn't matter because you have so much batting at the end. And I thought they wasted some of their resources with a lot of those balls.
Again, we spoke about it before the game, saying when you're batting 9, you run the risk of not optimizing your resources. And we've discussed this on the show before as well.
Yep.
Ad nauseum. Why I'm using such words today. We discussed it ad nauseum.
It's a paradigm shift.
It's a paradigm shift. But it's not a paradigm shift today.
I know.
Because they've done exactly that, which is that we look at them and we just get frustrated saying, we don't think the batting order is correct.
Yeah, I guess that to your point about Manish is the fact that Jinka Rahane was in there as well.
Yeah.
So you're not going in there with someone who's ticking it, I mean, Rahane started his innings well and he's finished up with 40 out of 33. That's very serviceable, but
He was 30 of 16, sorry.
Yeah, so the breaks had been applied to him.
Yeah.
So then there was the opportunity to inject the livelier batting type in there and have the yin and the yang of it rather than the like for like in there. So that's probably I do agree with that it's a missed opportunity given that.
Also, it's a pattern,
strength.
Gilly. It's a pattern. Rahane is outstanding in the power play.
Yeah.
And then when the spinners come on, he slows down after the power play.
Yeah.
So strikes about sort of 110, 115, 120 when he's going much more up top. So his point is so valid that because Rahane was there, you needed someone else. Rahane is very good at moving the strike around.
True.
So he won't just block one end. He'll keep knocking it around. Then you needed someone. So maybe they needed Rinku at that point.
Yep.
To get a move on, because I think, like many players, Rinku's got lost to the stereotype of being a finisher. So, I mean, he's a proper first-class batter, right? He averages 55-60 in first-class cricket.
Yeah.
So he's getting a bit lost below. I thought today was the ideal opportunity to send Rinku maybe at 5.
Yeah, because then he would have come in before the 10th over. And a guy like him who...
And he's inventive. He would have still got runs.
He's great. I mean, he did it even in the few balls that he played right at the end. But yeah, there is, just the fact that he's rusty because he hasn't played much. He's played 28 balls, which is pretty much 1/4 of the innings.
Yeah.
So you're looking at that with a strike rate of 128 and you're thinking, we've definitely left runs on the table here because we've got batters. Ramandeep's hardly played anything. Moeen Ali's not even come out to bat.
Yeah. No, there's any number of scenarios there that we could have played it and we feel like they might have been able to maximise their resources.
Yeah.
But they didn't. But I still think, looking at from the opposition's point of view, I think that spinning group bowled pretty well and there's enough on offer there.
Yeah,
To keep it interesting.
If we look at what the bowlers did, and special mention to Noor for picking up 4 wickets, so he's done really well. In fact, there was 4 balls that he bowled to. Was it him? He bowled the deliveries to Andrew Russell, which were completely out of syllabus for Andrew Russell.
He didn't pick the accent.
Yeah, he just couldn't pick anything at that time. Ashwin bowled. Now, bear in mind that Ashwin has bowled his first over for 14. And then he's bowled 2 overs for 5 after that. Ravindra Jadeja's only been expensive in the last over because that's where
Russell went after
him. But otherwise, Harsha, to Gilly's point, that spinning group was really good today.
And there's another thing about that bowling lineup there. Just as we typecast batters as finishers, I think they've typecast Pathirana as... Now, he has nowhere to go. If his rhythm is not quite there, he doesn't have those 2 overs to sit back at fine leg and get it right and come back again.
Yep.
Because he only came on in the 14th over today.
And every game. He's only coming in the second half every game.
So he's 4 overs 40 almost every game.
Yeah. And his last over was just 6.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And opposition know exactly what he's going to do.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like at the stumps fast or maybe with the change of pace. But that is it. So they are setting up. And if he jams, he bowled one brilliant over there, didn't he?
Yeah.
In
The last one,
so he's gone just nearly 10s, 9.5, with one outstanding over that went for 6 singles.
6. I think the last over over went to 6. There was 6 singles.
Oh yeah, it was
Last over 6 singles.
Yep.
Yeah. So that you're right. I think teams that will be prepared for exactly what that tactic is and can formulate their own plans around that.
Obviously, the pitch was taking a lot of turn. I mean, there was one time where Ashwin pretty much bowled it on one side of the Hooghly and it landed on the other side of the Hooghly, just went across the Howrah Bridge. But they can do it as well because they've got the spinning resources.
I've just got a thought. Watching Jadeja bowl, and Jadeja was getting the ball to turn a fair bit. I just wonder for impact sub, instead of Harshit Rana, because you've got Andre Russell, whether they'd send the Anukul Roy.
So get 16 overs of spin.
Will they get Anukul Roy? Because he can bowl in the power play too.
As can Moin. So you've got three. You've got Moin, Chakravarti and Narayan. So you've got
4 spinners. Whether they'll pick a fourth spinner.
Yeah.
Because they've got Russell to bowl seam up and Arora to bowl seam up. So it only leave a question of who bowls at the back end. They like Rana, but Rana's been expensive. But he's also now more a pace-off bowler rather than a pace-on bowler. So it's just a thought given Jadeja. Oh, will they think, look, we've got 12 overs of spin, that's more than enough.
Fair. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a lot to go 16. So what seam options or...
Vaibhav Arora with a new ball and Andre Russell.
And Andre, yeah, right.
Russell to bowl through the middle and get 3 overs of spin in the power play.
But the problem is that Russell only bowls 1 over as per his contract per match, right? I think he bowled 2 in the previous game.
They've got a bit of seam up from Ramandeep if they so desire. But
he hasn't bowled an over this tournament.
No, he's one of the victims of the impact sub.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if the spin in that many overs of spin in the power play is the right option.
I mean, they've got Moin will probably bowl 1 or 2 in the power play.
If you go by my rule, they'll almost have to bowl 4 in the power play because if they bowl 3 from Arora, they'll have no degrees of freedom left at the back end with pace. So
I think they're going to get Harshit
still go Rana.
Yeah. They'll get Harshit in because 180 is not that big a total.
No, that's right.
They'll still go Rana.
Yeah, so they'll go Rana because they'll need that option. Gilly thinks that Chennai can be stopped.
Because those 2 spinners are bowling so well.
Yeah.
If you look at the Chennai spinners, Ashwin was a bit iffy, had not played a few games coming in. Noor is just a little out of form. He's picked up 4 wickets. He's gone at about 8 and over. Whereas those 2 on good pitches are bowling so well that unless you attack them quickly, you could well have those 8 overs going for about 50, 55.
Yeah.
In which case you have to go at 10 and over with everybody else.
So you're saying that a bit like how Chennai was from after the power play to the death, those 9 overs, they went to run a ball.
Yeah.
You're pretty much predicting that Narayan and Chakravarti can also do that, run a ball.
You have to prevent them from doing that if you want to chase 180.
Yeah.
But also remember, Dhoni is 7. Dhoni is not the Dhoni that he was. So Dhoni is 7.
Fair.
Including Shivam Dube batting above him.
Yeah.
With Ashwin at 8. There's not a whole lot of batting. They can't afford to lose wickets up front.
And can we look at their batting lineup again, the Chennai?
Do you then just bring Dube in the 7th over no matter which wicket has fallen? Because you know the spinners are operating. You know he can take them down. This season, not as much as the previous season. But just bring Dube in and say, that's it, buddy. It's free buffet time. Just go for it.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that batting lineup for all the points that you mentioned about Dhoni at 7, not what he was, and a few youngsters in that top order who, may or may will find out how aggressive they are and how well they play spin, particularly when field restrictions are in place. Do they really take a risk? So that's going to be intriguing to watch that play out.
Ooh, interestingly, just to add to that, Ayush Mahatre is walking out with Devon Conway. So it's not Urvil Patel who's opening. Okay. It's Devon Conway.
Left hand, right hand.
Yeah, left hand to... I don't know. Are they looking at Conway as an anchor? Because when they did so well in 23, Conway would actually go hard.
And at 180, they can afford to have that.
Yeah. So I just wonder whether they think Conway... They must have liked what they've seen of Conway in the nets. Because he's hardly scored a run for New Zealand as well in recent times. He lost his New Zealand place. Yeah. Maybe they just think there'll be a lot of spin. He plays the horizontal bad shots a little bit, so maybe...
Maybe they're sick of paying him a lot of money to sit on the bench. Get out there and earn it, champion.
He could. He's good enough to do it.
Yeah.
On a pitch that's slightly tricky, he is definitely a player who could do that.
Yep.
That's interesting. And then, it's crazy because when you look at the points table, the Knight Riders really need this win. I feel like the tournament, Harsha, needs Kolkata to win this as well because otherwise the top 5 just kind of run away.
Yeah.
Very important that, and that is why yesterday's result just kept it open a little bit. Because Kolkata lose today, then the best they can do is get to 15. Yeah, look, Mumbai have got, as it turns, most likely 2 home games now.
Yeah. But
so if they win one of those, they're 16. So Kolkata will effectively go out if they go to it. That leaves Delhi. Delhi drop a game somewhere. Delhi are in trouble too. You don't want to get into a situation where there's about 10, 11 matches left.
Yeah.
And there's only one place open.
True. Yeah. So you're still backing the Knight Riders, right? I just want to tell you, a wicket has fallen second ball.
Is that right?
Yeah, and it's Ayush Mahatre.
Yeah, I said Chennai.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm backing.
No, you said
No, he said one. It might be a winning score.
you said it's a winning score.
Yeah.
You said Knight Riders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you said
Sorry,
Knight
yes,
Riders
sorry.
winning.
Sorry, we're confusing ourselves. No, I said, I think it's defendable.
I'll tell you what has happened. You're hungry because we had to stop dinner.
Yeah, that's it. We just started. You teased me.
Yeah.
And I go,
I'll tell you why that happened is because we did not factor in the 4 overs of Ravindra Jadeja, which finish in 2.5 minutes. Right? His total quota finishes in 2.5 minutes. All right, I have a question for you now before we go. What's the power play score going to be? We're going to let defending champion Mr. Bullseye Bhogle. That's what we're calling you now.
It's got such a nice ring.
It's got a nice ring, isn't it?
Nobody's. My name is never.
Oh, Bullseye.
Ladies and
Here
gentlemen,
he is.
presenting Bullseye Bhogle.
Do you want to do 3 variations of that? I'm just enjoying hearing it. 47.
Bullseye Bhogle.
47.
Bullseye Bhogle. Bullseye
I was going
Bhogle.
to say.
I'm going to go Bullseye Bhogle plus 8.
55.
All right.
You can go 46 or 48.
Yeah, no, I'll go 48.
Okay.
So you're Bullseye Bhogle plus 1.
Yeah.
You've parked your car right next to him because you want a little of the magic dust on you.
BB sounds like Bullseye Bhogle. BB sounds like Bolton Bumrah. There's so many good things about it. You know. Let me just revel in it for a few minutes because it's never going to happen again.
Would you? But tell me, you've told me that you're favouring Knight Riders. Who do you think is advantage Bullseye Bhogle?
Oh, definitely Knight Riders.
Knight Riders. You also think Bullseye. So Bullseye Bhogle and Adam Gilchrist both think that it's advantage Knight Riders. All right, we're going to see you at the end of 10 overs and Cricbuzz Combox. By we, I mean myself and Bullseye Bhogle are going to be there at the end of 10 overs. You were watching Voltas Presents Cricbuzz Live. Big thank you to Adam Gilchrist and
Bullseye Bhogle.
Gee, you got a future as a voiceover artist too?
It was a stormy night in Mumbai when the door slammed open and in walked Bullseye Bhogle. We'll see you later. Thank you for watching.
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ ಚೆನ್ನೈ
Express, Varanasi Station, Netaji Bhavan.